Welcome, welcome one and all to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. We all know what day it is. It's Leap Day, a magical 24-hour period that every 4 years emerges from the mist like Brigadoon. And for that one magical day, you can do anything you want because no laws apply, evidently, according to the Supreme Court. Because this morning, when I excitedly ran down to open my Leap presents under the time tree, I found out the Supreme Court has decided to hear Trump's immunity claim, further delaying his January 6th trial. In the landmark case of People versus Do Laws Matter? Seriously, what is going on? Justice deferred is justice gutted like a fish and thrown into the river for chum. One more of these steaming turds, and I swear to God, on the ghost of John Marshall, I will drive to Washington and rub my ass on your gavels. Yeah. There you go. Here's the deal. Back on, December 11th. On December 11th, Jack Smith begged the Supreme Court to rule on this issue in a timely manner because his case is critical to our democracy. The justices replied, "We don't feel like it," and sent the issue down to an appeals court. That court ruled against Trump vigorously and unanimously. Trump appealed, and for 16 days, SCOTUS didn't say jack until yesterday. But even then, it was merely to schedule arguments for the week of April 22nd and say proceedings in the trial court would remain frozen. That makes it a total of 19 weeks of delays. These proceedings have been frozen for so long, they legally count as children in Alabama. This is not a tough call. Wow. Wow. This is not a tough call, folks. The appeals court ruled 3-0 against Trump's claim that presidents have total immunity from prosecution, rejecting his lawyer's claim that the former president could not have been prosecuted even if he ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival unless Trump were also impeached and convicted by the Senate. Kind of weird that SCOTUS feels the need to consider whether or not laws exist. A quick reminder to the court. Be careful how you rule on this one because SEAL Team 6 currently works for Joe Biden. And remember the old saying, remember the Chinese proverb, revenge is a dish best served old. And it gets worse because the oral arguments are in April, but court watchers don't expect a decision until June. And the trial judge has promised the defense 88 days after that to prepare, meaning the trial could now be delayed until late September or October, plunging the proceedings into the heart of the election. That is terrible news for democracy, but fantastic news for television. All of the plot lines will come together at once for the thrilling conclusion of America. You've got the trial of the century alongside the most important election of our lifetime, followed by the season 2 premiere of Tracker. Tracker, he'll find your keys. Turns out they were in yesterday's pants. Now, I wonder if the justices, I really do sincerely wonder if these justices, specifically John Roberts, realize just how damaging to the court's legacy their stalling over this urgent threat to our democracy is. And that legacy doesn't have far to fall at this point. In one poll, just 18% of Americans said they have a great deal of confidence in the court. That's less trust than Americans place in Chet's Warm Shrimp and Mayonnaise Emporium. You know their slogan, when you're here, you're... The Supreme Court gains all of its legitimacy and all of its power from public approval. They don't have an army or a police force or apparently an HR department. They have to rely on moral authority, but they have abdicated that moral authority, which is why, tonight, using the power vested in me as a late-night host, I am hereby declaring the Supreme Court unconstitutional. Yeah. I don't make this decision lightly, but I'm here to say that their decisions are henceforth henceforth. I don't take it lightly, nor is it easy to say. Their decisions are henceforth null and void because they are poo-poo heads and completely divorced from what the people they serve want and divorced from reality. In Dobbs, the court stripped women of their rights, and to justify it, Sam Alito cited a 17th century witch hunter. Evidently, he believes medical decisions are between a woman, her doctor, and the mischievous imp who inflamed her loins with his alluring pan flute. For you. That's for you. Oh, there's also some news from Trump's civil fraud trial. The clock is ticking on him coughing up the $454 million penalty, compounding every day. And he's been trying to delay. But yesterday, his request to halt paying the full amount was denied by a New York judge. I got something. I got a little something. Yeah. Sorry, Don, you got to come up with half a bill pronto. As we say in New York, start selling more shoes. Trump's lawyers tried to get the judge to accept a cheaper deal by proposing to put up $100 million instead. You can't barter with a court ruling. Your Honor, I know that you sentenced my client to be hanged until dead, but what if we just choked him till he got aroused? It's something. It's something. Trump's lawyers argued that he can't post the full bond because he doesn't have the money without selling a building. Then sell a building, bitch. Let's do it. Boo-hoo. Wah, wah. Sell Trump Tower, okay? New York can redevelop it. First floor, weed store. Second floor, weed store. Third floor, pet groomer, that sells weed. Now, no surprise, Donald Trump is already doing some shady stuff to avoid paying off this fine. New York's Attorney General claims that he's been quietly moving his assets to Florida. But thankfully, we know where he hides everything in Florida. Just check the Mar-a-Lago bathroom. That's a big bathroom. That's a really big bathroom. Bow, bow, ba-da-dum. Yesterday, President Biden had his annual physical exam, and good news, he's alive. Jon Stewart, you owe me $5. Pay up. The White House physician wrote a summary of the president's health and said Joe Biden is fit for duty and described him as healthy, active, and robust. In stark contrast with the former president, who was unhealthy, inactive, and robusted. We also got a list of all the medications Joe Biden takes for allergies, blood pressure, and heartburn. They're all pretty common. Eliquis, Crestor, Dymista, Allegra, Pepcid, and Nexium. Thanks, Joe. I believe that's every one of our sponsors. CBS. Now, the doctors... The doctors also gave Biden an extremely detailed neurologic exam, which they call reassuring. And they determined that he didn't need a cognitive exam, which is good because they only give you one of those if they're worried. In fact, the doctor wrote, patient exhibits excellent memory, including photographic recollection of the barrel candy available at the Scranton Five and Dime in 1958. No detail skipped. Physician missed lunch break. Of course, that did not stop Trump from complaining. He posted on his stupid website, crooked Joe Biden must take a cognitive test, ... I took 2 of them and aced them both. No mistake. That is not the flex that you think it is. People are constantly asking me to prove I don't have dementia, and I always ace it. I ace day of the week, how many fingers, and then they asked me who's the president of the United States. I said, this guy. And then they said, give him another cognitive test. Well, now... Fresh off his doctor visit, Joe made a visit to the southern border. One issue, it's the same day that Donald Trump already scheduled a border trip. Awkward. Even worse, they were both wearing the same thing. Gold Bond medicated powder. Trump's getting a little help in his 2024 campaign from his son, Don Jr., who was calling for a massive voter turnout. He tweeted, in 2024, we need an all-of-the-above voter strategy. That means voter registration at gun shows, concerts, UFC fights, and even in Amish country. One of those things is not like the others. We gotta get everyone, bro. Gun nuts with 1,000 AKs, kickboxing psychos, and the peaceful guys with the chin beards who hate zippers. You got a problem, bro? You wanna go?
Come on.
When it comes, because I'll go right now. When it comes to admiring the Amish, Don Jr. is no Jedediah come lately. Earlier this year, an Amish farm was raided for selling raw milk that resulted in foodborne illnesses, and Jr. was pissed, tweeting that police should not be going after farmers selling to their neighbors, adding, "Can I be the only person sick of this shit? I get what you're doing, but I'm not sure the best way to reach the Amish is the internet." Unless you go to their top social media sites, Milk Talk and Facebarn. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Dune's Rebecca Ferguson and the director, Denis Villeneuve. When we come back, meanwhile, start spreading the news.